everyone, hope you guys have enjoyed the custom-made CGI, which is based on a Japanese animation known as Initial D. And this, I got to thank my friend Kailun for doing this wonderful animation. Now, having this said, I do apologize to all of you, which there's this period of time where I gone missing in YouTube, based on the fact that I was having a very hectic work schedule at work. But right now I'm back, and if you can remember, I've done a case review on Montag Sky 2 GX. At the end of that content, right, I did mention about having a team build based on Initial D, and right now I'm back to it. First thing I'd like to introduce to you is in fact the 8.8-inch LCD, which you saw on that content, and I find this very useful. I've been using this for quite some time just to test how the screen goes and how the resources being taken and such. Indeed, this screen has proven what it's worth, and I'd like to thank Turing SmartScreen to have provided this unit for me to share with you guys. In this package, it contains first with the instruction manual. One side is in Chinese, the other side is in English, instructing you on how to mount the unit itself, I mean the LCD panel, and things to take note. It's being protected by this thick foam, nice touch, inclusive of the inside where you cushion your LCD and your accessories. And as for accessories, right, you're provided with two cables, one which is always standard type A to type C. Now the type C is to mount to, to be connected to your LCD panel, and the other end, right, this type A, right, is to be plugged to your motherboard IOs. And this cable, right, instead of using this, if you intend to place this LCD panel in your case and you wouldn't want to stuck out the cables out to the rear of your IO, right, you can make use of this, whereby this is to be connected to your LCD, and this is where you connect to the motherboard 2.0 socket. You'll be provided with standoffs. Now this standoff have multi-purposes, which will make use of these screws over here. In the event if you want to place this LCD outside the case and right in front of your monitor, right, while using this connector for your rear IO, you can mount this LCD panel to this bracket over here, and it acts as a stand. Earlier on, I mentioned about this L brackets here where you can mount to the panel with these screws over here. So this is how it looks like. That's right, I purchased another unit based on the fact that it was on offer, and it was at 59 Singapore dollars, which converts into US is about 47 to 48 USD. It's dirt cheap. Now back to the panel itself, whereby I mentioned the bracket. This is how you mount it with the screws. So if you want to place this on your desk, right, you can just put it this way. See, it will just show. Or if you want to mount at the top of your case where your radiator is, right, you can just mount it this way so that, it will show you the screen at the top. Or if you choose to mount at the bottom where you have bottom fans, right, you can just flip this, and these are the slots where you can mount on your bottom fan. And they have done a very brilliant way to mount this. As you can see here, right, the most outer screw thread which I mounted, the length over here is of 140 mm. So you can place this on your 140 mm fans that is mounted to the radiator or to the bottom case. Or if you're using 120 mm fans, you just shift this to the inner slot. This is of 120 mm apart. Brilliant idea. Now, there are cables that are provided as mentioned. Kindly note that you will only be using one cable at a time. Okay, this cable over here, which is nicely braided, this is meant for you to connect the type C to the type C over here. Then at this end, right, connect to any of the type A port of your motherboard. And this is meant for exterior, meaning to say your LCD panel, right, is outside the case, where you can place this at the front of your monitor, like how I showed you earlier. Assuming that this is connected, you can just place it this way. See, to show the stats and such. Or if you choose to mount this inside the case, okay, you have to detach this and to use this. Now, as mentioned to you, they provide you with 2 cables. Please do not plug 2 cables at one go. You can either choose to use the exterior cable or the interior cable. So with this cable, right, first off, this end over here where you have the white plug, connect to the LCD at the bottom. And please be careful, there's only one direction. Make sure you align properly. Okay, as you can see over here, right, there are 2 studs. Okay, it's pretty close. So this is without the studs, and this at the top, there are studs. And on your LCD panel, right, see at the top there are 2 grooves, which is meant for you to align with your stud, and you connect this in. Make sure that it's firmly plugged in. Once this is done, right, at this end over here, this is meant for you to plug to your motherboard USB 2.0. Then all this, right, you can just do cable management, tuck inside the case, and you can just have this screen in your case. The measurement of this unit as follow: from here to here is 238mm. From the top to here is at 65mm. And the thickness of this unit is at 10mm. As I mentioned to you, this is an 8.8 inch display, which is from here to here, which is 8.8 inch. Before you do anything, as in like to plug the device, you will need the application. So I have to advise you to hit down to this website, which is listed in my description, or you can scan the QR code on my left. Then once that's done, right, when you come to this page, just click on download and scroll down and look for 8.8 inch. Now they have various kind of screen, which is 3.5 inch, 5 inch, or even the circular kind of screen, which is the 2.1, which later I will show you where you can actually get that. Now for now, right, which is the 8.8 inch, which I will download this. Once you download that, go to your download folder. Okay, this is the file. Extract this somewhere. I'll just extract to the desktop. Now there's no installation required, as there is only an execution file from this folder, which is this. Okay, so right now I'm just going to connect to the device and to show you how the interface look like. For demonstration purposes, I will just do this outside the case. And as mentioned to you, there are 2 cables. One is for when you want to place this panel inside the case, which is this, or if you intend to place this outside the case, use this cable. And reminder again, in the event if you want to use this panel, right, kindly do not plug 2 cables at one go. Choose either one, either inside the case or outside the case. Now right now I have this cable on the other end, right, which is the type A connected to my motherboard rear I/O. And for this type C, right, you just you just click it over here. It's like plug. So once you plug this, right, you have this screen. Okay, it's this way. So this shows that it's ready to load. Once you have plugged your device and it's showing this screen, it's time for you to launch the application. Open up the folder where you have extracted, scroll down, look for this icon which says USB Monitor S. Double click on this and this will load the application. It will take some time to read the system info on your system, and once this is done, right, it will bring you to an interface which I will show you later. So it takes some time to load. It is, as mentioned, is reading on the sensor. Now this is the interface of the application, where you have the left side with all the sub menu, things like home, device, theme, and settings. Starting out with home, this is where you can choose all the preset that you wanted. For example, you want to show this, you just click on run, and once you run, right, see, it display on the screen itself. If you don't want this, just stop it, and you can rotate another format, or try to say style. Let's say you want this, you can just run. Now the preset theme over here, right, not only show horizontally, but it can show vertically. Let me just show you. See, let's say you want vertically, right, and you run. See, this is vertically. So you can place this panel in your case, right, be it horizontally or vertically. There are themes for it. Okay, let me just stop here, and to change to something which is horizontal. Now all these are in fact live feed of what you run. Things like your CPU stats, your CPU, your GPU, and your fans and such. There are many more. Next will be on devices itself. Take for example, okay, this, right, I need to stop. Take for example, let's say your LCD got stuck and you need to reset. So the troublesome way will be unplugging the cable and to plug it back on and such. But this interface, right, they had this built-in function. Click on device where you can see restart. If you click on restart, right, this will detach the device, and to refresh all the cache and data and such, see, you will come back to here. Once this is started, right, you will then have to go to home and to load the theme that you wanted. Now this doesn't happen, this doesn't happen often. Okay, I'm just saying that there is this function you can make use of. Next will be setting. I will bypass the theme first. I'll go with settings, where you can see over here, right, these are the things that is listed, as in like predefine what you want to display, as in like CPU sensor, where you get the CPU readings from, which is, if you know about hardware info, right, there are different types of sensor. So you select to it to show things like your fan tool, where you have, it happened that this is an ITX motherboard, so you only have two fan headers. So I have CPU and chassis fan. In the event, let's say you have placed your CPU fan, right, on chassis one, right, you can just switch. And what's all this for when you indicate? Okay, before I go to that, coming to the right section, right, you can have this as auto start. Meaning, say when you start to Windows, right, the display will pick up from the instructions of this dashboard. Now besides this, right, where I mentioned that all this predefined sensor that you've done, right, on the theme itself, right, you can customize your own theme, which I will show you later. So for example, data, if you add, take a look at the data over here. See, you can display the GPU temperature. See, it display over here, and you can display things like the total RAM usage. See, it displays. So these are the customized theme that you can do, which I will show you in a short while. So these are the things. It's pretty fun to have this, in fact. And the system resource, right, surprisingly that it doesn't really take that much system resource. If you could see here, right, if I am to scroll this down here, see, it's almost nothing. But when you run it, of course it will. Take for example, if I run this, right, and if you to look at the system resource over here, it's very minimal, and you will just hover around this percentage. Reason being, right, this unit itself has a built-in IC chip to take all the processing and instruction instead of hogging onto your system processor and such. What you see on the panel is my customized Initial D project, which I've done. It's pretty straightforward, based on the fact that, as you can see, right, on the dashboard of this SmartScreen, Turing SmartScreen, right, see, there are all this that I've done. And how do I do it? making use of Photoshop and to do the customized panel. So what I've done is to set the image size. Now I only did the horizontal panel, which I know the size, which is in pixel. Just going to show you is 1920 pixel by 480, which is the width and the length. And as you can see, right, I pieced them up one by one. Okay, the beaker and such. So this will give you the base itself, and I enhance even further as what you see on the screen itself right now with all this. So these are the things that I've actually done just to show you. So once you've done this, right, you can save it as a PNG file. Now once you've done this, right, on the panel itself, if you want to load your own theme or you want to configure it, make sure you stop this from running, okay, which I've done. Next will be on the theme itself, then load the image. And when you load the image, right, click on image and you can select the theme that you have done. Okay, take for example, I take the very basic. See? So this, right, you can add stats like, for example, let's say data, right? Okay, I would to add element. Now this take some time. You will need to get used to how the sequence is and to align. See, right now I'm actually showing CPU percentage. You can drag to where the point you want to be. For example, you don't want to show this CPU usage, right? What you can do is just to change the data source. Let's say right now I want to show my CPU temperature. See, this will show, no, this is the CPU fan. I got the wrong one. CPU temp. You will show the CPU temp and such. Once you are okay with everything, right? Okay, let me just add another one. Oh, you can actually add bar graphs and such. You can predefine them. But for me, right, what I've actually done, in fact, okay, take for example this. See, I redone this. These are the things that is movable. See, so if you select this, right, you can move, or maybe the data on the temperature. Then once you have configured everything, you find it nicely, right, you can just save the theme and save it with a file name. Once you have saved that, right, go back to the home where you can drop down and to select the theme that you wanted. Mine is this, so I just run. So whatever you see on the panel right now, right, is running live. Okay, there are no delays, 0 milliseconds delay. It will be live. As promised, this is where I got the 8.8-inch LCD panel. Well, for the first set, right, it's been provided by Turing SmartScreen, which I feel that it's actually a cherry pick. So I myself purchased one more unit just to test it, and both work out very well. So this store itself, right, is recommended by Turing SmartScreen themselves, and this is all the products that they have: the 3.5, the 5-inch, the 8-inch, sorry, 8.8-inch, or the circular 2.8-inch. And if you have Liquid AIO that does not have a LCD panel, right, you might want to get this option, which is 2.8-inch. Let me just show you. See, it's pretty straightforward, where you have just the screen and the cable, the USB cable. It's just like what I showed you on the 8.8-inch. Power and data is drawn through just one cable. What are my thoughts about this Turing SmartScreen 8.8-inch LCD panel? Well, it's a very pleasant one. I've been using this for quite some time, and inclusive of the one that I purchased, both working well. And it's just like a normal monitor that you have, and it just display whatever you need to see, like the stats, the CPU temperature and such. And best part is that this is not system hogging. In fact, it has a built-in chip to it to recognize all the stats and such. The only thing that it pulls, right, is only the sensor from your system. That's the only resources that it's taking up. Other than that, right, the display and the format that you've done and such, the template is all on the IC chip that's built into this panel. Now, also flexibility, not only the 8.8 inch, as I show you, right, you have the circular 2.8 inch, 3.5 inch, 5 inch, and such. And on top of it, right, it's not very big in size and such, inclusive of all those that I've actually recommended and show you, right, they are very portable. And best part is that it only takes one cable. It's either externally using the USB and Type-C, or the the plug for your internal. And also another part is that if you want to place this inside the case, right, they have done a very nice bracket, L bracket, which not only meant for you to display outside, see, and also a function whereby you can mount this to your fans at the top or at the bottom. And they have thought about the space whereby the external, should be the spread out, right, it's meant for 140mm fans, and for the inside it's for 120mm fans. Hope you guys have enjoyed what I've shared with you, and I'd like to thank Turing SmartScreen to have provided this unit for me to play with, and also to my good friend Kailun to have done the CGI on the team Initial D. And if you are new to my channel and you like my content, do remember to subscribe and to click on the notification bell button. Till then, take care, goodbye, see ya.